Guys, all the cars that you see in these videos are for sale on my website, www.woodsandbarclay.com. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on the 33,000 mile 1983 300 SD. And I just picked Kevin up from the airport. You guys have probably seen Kevin in the videos with the surf wagon. Kevin is the other Mercedes expert that I know. He is in the car right now. And what we are doing, so this is a 33,000 mile car. So like the wood here is flawless. But what we noticed, see right here, how it started delaminating or started separating from the backing plate. And that's just from age, guys. See right here? The glove box started to separate, see right there. And we also noticed right here, appears to be a beautiful panel, but if you look closely, there we go. There's a crack right there. And guys, this is a 33,000 mile vehicle, so that's not gonna fly. You know, we're changing, pulling out the wood right now. Let me take you around to this side. And here we go too. You can see where it started to delaminate there, and that's just from age. What causes this, Kevin?
The delamination? It could have been in
humidity.
And it's not like it was in wet. It's just like the atmosphere around may have been
just age and humidity, yeah. And you see this a lot. You'll see it separate here, and then
common
right here. You can see that little crack running across there. I don't know if you guys can even pick it up on the camera. Here, let me zoom in. Yeah, there you go. See where that has started to crack there, and you got a little crack here, and that's where this started to delaminate, and then someone tried to push it back in, and it'll crack the polyester resin. So we are pulling out all of the wood and putting in freshly refinished wood from Madeira Concepts. Being a 33,000 mile vehicle, I want it to be absolutely flawless. And pretty much 99% of the vehicle is flawless, except for those little hairline cracks and the minor delamination. But let me show you this wood we just got back from Madeira Concepts. Guys, check this out. This is absolutely beautiful. Let me pull this over in the light. Here we go. For example, here is the center console piece. And guys, Madeira is the only company that does it correct. That's exactly how it looked when it came from Mercedes. Just absolutely incredible. So Kevin's in the process of disassembling the wood trim that goes across the dash right here. And it's a little tricky. And that's why I called in the experts for this job. How many 126s have you done this on, Kevin?
Quite a few.
Yeah, he can pretty much do it in his sleep. I've done it on tons of 123s, but I'd never replaced this wood on a 126. So that's why Kevin's here.
The number one rule.
Sorry, say that again.
Patience is the number one rule to have when you're working on an older car like this.
So don't force anything, and make sure you've got all the right screws undone. There we go.
It's probably going to come out usually it's weak there, and it ends up coming apart there.
There we go.
All right.
All right, I'm going to set this up on the roof just for a second, and we're going to take a look at this piece and why it's getting replaced. There we go. So there you go. You can see a crack right there. You can see it started to delaminate from the backing. Now what happens is when you try to re-glue that, guys, that polyester resin has shrunk over the years. So you can put glue back there, but when you go to press it down to re-glue it, since it's shrunk, it will cause cracking to start. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't. And there you go, got a nice crack right there. And of course, right over here. So this is going to go back to Madeira, and you know, the veneer, the wood is actually outstanding condition. It's just the polyester resin finish, which is pretty similar to an epoxy finish, but it's not quite the same thing as epoxy. So let me show you the replacement piece. Okay guys, this was just unwrapped from Madeira, and you can see right here on the edges, see there's no delamination, no cracking. It's all been glued correctly to the backing plate. And this is flawless. That is exactly how it would have left Mercedes. It's the correct color, the correct tint. That is a perfect piece, and that's what we're going to put back in the car. Okay guys, we just want to briefly show you how you pull these vents out. So if you look down in the vent, there we go, I got this light here. Okay, you see that little metal bracket right there? So see how it moves like that? When you reach in there, you grab it with a pick and you hold it out. And what that does, you can move that now. What that does is it pulls that dowel in, and that dowel fits into the hole right there. So you can imagine when you stick a pick in there and you lift that little dowel, it will slip out.
Do that for both sides.
You do that, yep, for both sides. See the other one there? And it's like spring loaded. See that? So that pulls it out. And now once that's done, Kevin, you can talk us through that.
Yeah, so you got this, but there's actually another 8mm screw behind this. So this glove box insert, we're going to have to pull this out, get the 8mm behind there. And then in the corner there's a 7mm plastic nut that we'll pull out. And then
yeah, I see it there. And then it looks like there's a screw right there.
Yeah, this you can loosen this. It will allow you to, this will float a little bit more if you have any trouble getting that out. There's also a detaching the ventilation hose in the back, and then you can get more access when you get your fingers in there.
So basically you take the glove box out, and then there's a nut behind there.
An 8mm nut and a washer is, well, kind of like a plate for distributing the load, yeah.
And that's how you pop that off. And we'll show you when it's removed.
Usually it's a metal 8mm nut, but this one actually has a 7mm plastic nut on it.
Yeah, that's the 7mm plastic ones are also on the door panel. Yeah. So they might have changed that in 84, 85 to a metal nut.
Maybe.
So you take that. I'll show them the tool you're using to do that. Guys, you can get these in the like dollar bin at the you know, Advance or AutoZone or whatever, and they're great. Like little mini ratchets. So we'll take that out and then we'll come back in a minute. Okay guys, here is the freshly refinished Madeira piece. It's flawless, and let's show them how to stick that back in there. There's a stud right over here and right there.
So you got to come at the end first and put it on, and then pop it in just like that.
Look at that. Dude, that's perfect.
And then we'll get our washers and nuts.
And look how nice the edge is. See how there's no cracking or anything on the edge?
They did a really nice job on this.
Yeah. Wow, that looks fantastic.
It does. Yeah,
look at that.
They did a great job. Boy, I'm jealous. My 126 is going to need some loving like this.
Guys, to have Madeira do this, you're looking at like, you know, $1,500. But I've tried other ways. I've tried other companies. Nobody does it correct. Madeira is the only one. So you definitely get what you pay for. Okay, here's the parts that came off the car, and then the parts that came back from Madeira. And of course, they're a little dirty and cloudy because, you know, they've been handling these in a woodworking shop. But if you turn it over, it's got the perfect finish. Now, what we're doing, these are the wood blocks. See, this is the... there you go. It's the glove box door trim. See, this is already delaminated and detached, but these wood blocks are glued to the back of it. You can see there's the glue Mercedes would put on here. See it squirting out the sides? So we have taken wood blocks and we need to position them on this new piece exactly how they were on the old piece. And you can see how we've got our gap here. And I've got the same depth gap on top. then if you look over here, we have the gap, but see how close it is to the side? So we also have our gap there, but we have our smaller gap on the side. And that's very important to get those lined up right so you can screw the wood piece back in correctly. So we're going to let this dry overnight before reapplying it. All right, guys, it's the next day, and the wood attachment blocks on the glove box wood trim have dried overnight. And you can see we've got one screw in here, and pull it up so we can see and we're just checking the alignment to make sure. Yeah, so we want our gaps here to be good and the gaps over there to be good. It looks like we nailed it.
Trying to.
So we're going to go ahead and reattach that and reinstall the glove box. And then we're going to move over to there and start putting the wood trim back over there. All right, we have the wood blocks attached. Oh man, perfect.
I'll just put this guy back
and
in.
see, we got the grains to line up with each other. Perfect. Yeah, that's nice. Now to put the latch back in, which is kind of a pain in the butt.
Sometimes I use like a longer screwdriver and kind of get it, because you see how it's got this, and you got to fit this. You got to kind of move quickly and get it up.
To latch around there, yeah. All right, now we got the latch in. Now we're just putting the little sheet metal screws into the back, or machine screws.
Yeah.
So not very exciting there, guys. He's just going to reattach those, and then we're going to move on from the glove box. All right, guys, the next thing we're doing is you can see I've started disassembling the door panel, because we have our little crack in the wood right there. I mean, that's for a 33,000 mile car, you have to address this stuff. So we're going to replace this piece, and let me go ahead and finish getting the door panel off. Okay, guys, we have the door panel disconnected. Now, since there's two of us, I'm just going to hold the panel while Kevin goes around back here, and you see there's a plastic nut there, right there, and he's already removed the one over here. They look like that, little plastic speed nuts, I think, and that's going to detach our wood here. So Kevin's going to detach those, and we're going to get the new piece on there. There we go. I don't have a light on, but they can sort of see what you're doing. Look at the condition of this door panel, man. Yeah, that plastic has never been off. It even has that little pad, that protective pad to keep noise.
I've seen that before, yeah.
All right, he's going to go ahead and finish undoing these, and we'll pull the wood off. Okay, we've got those disconnected. Now Kevin's pushing from behind. There's that crack. See? Wouldn't that annoy you if this car had that crack on it? So, there we go. All right. Now let's grab the other trim piece. It's right over there, Kevin. All right, I'm trying to, look at that, guys. That's beautiful. And literally it just snaps back in through these holes, and Kevin puts those the little plastic nuts back on the back.
Look at the back side, make
Yep.
sure I'm lined up.
There we go. Yeah, look at that. And see, the wood grain also matches exactly to the wood grain here. That's important. All right, guys, what's important on a 126 is totally different than a 123. On the back of this panel, you have, where are the clips? Okay, there we go.
You got,
see that clip there? And you have these clips here.
This is, people break these off.
People break them off all the time, but those clips up here,
and then you've got,
they clip into this channel right here. And then you have, there's a clip, see the L-shaped clip there, and there's another one there. Those clip into, let's see, here's where one clips in, and then the other two, one clips in there, and one clips in there. So basically, you get everything pushed in and the top channel connected, and then you press down on the panel to clip it in.
This one here, people often don't put it in or have trouble with this one here. This is the middle one.
The middle one goes, yep,
right there.
Right there. Yeah. So it's basically you push it on and push it down.
It's a lot easier with two people.
Yeah, I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to help Kevin. Okay, guys, we have the door reassembled with no extra parts left over. No, it looks, that looks, remember the crack in our other one? We had that little crack there. Sorry, there's fingerprints on here. We'll wipe all that off. But now it is back to mint condition. So we're going to go ahead and proceed to work that way and all the way across the car. Okay, I'm over here on the bench working on the wood trim that's going back on the car. And Kevin's on the driver's side door panel removing the wood piece here, because you can't just replace, even though this one was good, guys, you can't refinish all the wood and then not change one piece, because you will notice that. It will not be like cut from the same Zebrano. It's just going to be a little bit different. So you got to replace all of it. But what I wanted to point out is we've noticed when we took apart all the doors, that's factory original. This has never been it's never been opened up. That's all the original factory glue in here. That's rare to see, guys. On most of these cars, you take off the door panel and the plastic membrane's missing, or it's like ripped up, or you know, been tampered with, and this hasn't. This is definitely a 33,000 mile car. There we go. So you can see this one was actually in good shape, but it's a different piece of Zebrano. So here's the one we're putting back on the car. It's pretty damn similar. But this was, you know, the same veneer that all the other veneer was cut from. So it's going to match exactly. Okay, we are done with both door panels. Wipe my fingerprints off of here. We'll clean that later. But look at that wood. Absolutely beautiful. All right, now Kevin is attaching, I'll show you what piece he's working on. It's the long wood piece here. And, you know, this is the one that had delaminated right there and had a little crack in the wood. You can see it right goes, well, there it is. See how it cracks right up along there? So he's putting that back in there. He's almost got it fitted, so I'll come back when he has that fully attached. Okay, what Kevin just put in, you can see there's a little screw under there, and under there. And those actually screw into this thin strip that goes across. And there you go, guys. Look at that. Flawless now. Okay, what Kevin's doing now, guys, there's a little plastic nut on the end of a socket. And guys, this is a blind screw. And there are two of them back here.
Yeah, I already got one of them.
You got to reach into the gauge cluster area and come around behind and get that nut on. It's the most difficult nut on the 126. All right, so we'll get that last one on and come back. We are almost finished. Here, I'm going to show you which one he is working on. Here's the old piece that came off the car. And there you go. See these two studs right here? That's what you got to get the nuts onto. All of the upper dash wood is done. Came out absolutely phenomenal. All right, so now what we're moving to, Kevin's popping out the ashtray. Show them how you do that, Kevin. You literally pull that out. And we're going to replace the lower wood here, just because we want to make sure it's the same Zebrano grain and it's an exact match. You can see there's our refinished. Look at that, guys. Absolutely beautiful. So we're going to go ahead, replace these, and we will come back in a minute and show you the finished product. All right, Kevin's just undoing the all the switches from behind there. Oh wow, look, the insulation is still back there.
Yep.
And now we're also going to check that all the bulbs are good, guys.
It's fiber optic. They all worked. I tested.
Oh, really? You already
the
tested them?
Nice
Sweet.
thing about it's just one bulb does everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with 30,000 miles, of course, the bulbs are good. I've seen these bulbs still good at 180,000 miles.
My car has 400,000 miles on it, and they're still good.
400,000. Kevin's SD has 400,000 miles on it. Okay, so he's going to get the switches unplugged, and we're going to pop the switches out, transfer it over. I'm going to go work on the ashtray, and he'll do the upper panel. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, guys, the 126, the wood trim on the front of the ashtray, Mercedes actually used double-sided tape to attach it to the front of the ashtray. I don't like to do that. What I like to use is the gel-based Gorilla Glue. That's much more durable than that double-sided tape, and it will bond it to it much better. So you can see I've got this little setup rigged here, and I put towels under there so we don't touch the wood, and that is now bonding in place to the ashtray, and it'll be dry in probably about 10 minutes or so, and we can put it back in the car. All right, guys, while we have everything out, we're going to go ahead and replace a few of these bulbs. So the part number here, there you go, 2721. It's a 12 volt 1.2 watt little Osram, and we're going to pop a few of those in there. These are like for the ashtray and a couple other components.
Yeah, so one thing to note is this is the unfrosted bulb, so this is for those components, but if you have this is a frosted one. This is the one that goes for the climate control, so that you don't melt the plastic.
There we go. Yeah. That's very good to know.
And there's a different part number. We can look that up and put that.
Yeah, I'll put it like on
a link or something.
A link or something like that. Yeah. All right. Okay, we just got a couple of bulbs replaced. This one, for example, is the one that goes into the ashtray, and we're just testing to see that it works. And now Kevin's going to put that ashtray back in there. Now there's it's like a 12 volt power supply. That's for the cigar lighter, because if you're driving a Mercedes, you don't smoke cigarettes, you smoke cigars.
And in the 126, they give you 2 extra ones in the back.
Yeah, for the guys smoking cigars in the back seat. Everybody smokes cigars at the same time if you're in a 126.
The bulb's sunken?
Yeah, it's like a little, there you go. There, the bulb plugs in right back in there.
There it goes. Snaps
into there. And then that ashtray literally slides back into the dash. Okay, we are done with the wood trim. That probably took about 6 hours. And guys, this is flawless, perfect, factory original finish. It doesn't get better than that. And we made sure to all of the grains, we've got them perfectly lined up. See where that grain comes across and picks up the grain here. See over here where the grains come across and they pick up and meet the grain here. Also, the grains come across here and they pick up the grain over there. So all the grains are aligned. The coloring and staining that Madeira did is perfect. Go ahead and show you over here.
We still have to push the cluster in.
There we go. And we still have to push the gauge cluster in here because we had to remove that. So that's why that gap is there. But we'll push that back in a minute. But there you go. Flawless, perfect wood trim.
That's great.
Yeah, it looks amazing.